everybody, and welcome to the Sam and Ming Show, the S&M Show, broadcasting live from the home of the comic book men, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. My name is Ming Chen, sitting across from me. I missed you.
You're at a loss of words.
I missed you. What am I going to say? This feels weird.
It does, actually. It feels like it's been a long time.
I know. It feels like I don't know. I just feel like I've been in like a deep sleep for the last like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Now I'm waking up again. I got my beer in front of me. I got a mic.
I feel like I've been in a fucking nightmare. So I don't know about you, but
yeah, just you know what? Sometimes the universe tries to stop you from doing things. Sometimes Tell 'em Steve Dave tries to stop you from doing things. Sometimes the universe just kind of kicks you in the ass, punches you in the face, knocks you down. And like Rocky Balboa says, sometimes you gotta just take that hit and just get up.
Yeah.
Just get the hell up. So this is us getting up. The S&M Show back on the air, and we are live.
We are.
From Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. Yes. And not only are we live at smodcast.com, we are now live on this little new app called Periscope. You may have heard of it.
I call it Ming overexposure.
I think I was overexposed already. I mean, yeah, so why not just add another one to the mix? Periscope, if you haven't heard, is a little app that was acquired by Twitter. If you have an iPhone, you can download it, and what it allows you to do is tune into or start your own live broadcast. And that's what we're doing now. You can watch Sam Q.
Now, I have a question,
live.
because
Yes.
You steal everything from Pizza Beer Revolution.
Okay.
This isn't something you stole from them?
I did not steal this from them. No, I did not.
Maybe they'll steal it from us.
It's not stealing. It's spreading the love. I do not believe in stealing. I believe in paying homages. I believe in what's it called? Flattery. What do they call stealing? It's the most sincere form of flattery. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. But why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not overexpose yourself
Why not?
on every...
Why not broadcast this live? Why not let the Periscope world see your beautiful face and your beautiful purple earphones and you drinking beer?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
You could pretty much come to my apartment any night this week and see me drinking wine.
Yes. Yeah, well, no, we can't. Now you have to download this app. You can start broadcast. Now, I as the rule is, everyone can do it. But should everyone should be doing it? I don't know. But hey, why not?
Probably not.
You want to? No one's putting a gun to your head. No one's putting a gun to your head. But I did. I've seen some cool stuff. One girl had it with her on her walk on the Great Wall of China earlier this weekend. I thought that was cool. One dude put his phone in a plastic bag, took it surfing with him. I thought that was.
Do you ever
cool.
get like people masturbating?
I haven't. I don't know, and I don't. That's a good question. It's one I haven't brought up yet. I don't know how, but I have not seen anything like that. I don't know if
you haven't seen dick yet.
I don't know if they have filters. I don't know if there's. I haven't even seen it in a button. I think you can war. I don't know if there's like inappropriate content button.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that, so I have not tried it myself. But no, I have not tuned in anything like that.
Okay.
So, but it has.
I guess the world of Periscope is open for masturbation. You know?
I don't, because I don't know if there's someone watching there. It's like, oh, whoa, some dude like playing with himself. Bam, gone, banned, permanent ban.
Permanent ban.
Yeah, I have not seen a penis. I have not seen any boobs. Not seen any vaginas on Periscope. So whatever they're doing
something right.
They're doing something right.
Fair enough.
Yes. So tune in, everybody. This is your
download
chance.
it. It's free.
Yes.
Tune in.
Yes. I know you're not going to. You don't follow these stupid trends.
I'm not going to.
I remember when I came in, I was like, Snapchat is going to be like this.
Yeah.
This thing's going to take over the world. You're like,
Yeah. No.
Yeah, screw that. So people can watch
and all that like fucking like vining. That was like another one. Everyone vining their shit together.
Yeah, but you are on Instagram. You are on Instagram at Sam Quintus.
I am.
Are you public? Like anyone can become your friend? Like
I
anyone
actually
can
don't
follow
know.
you on there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Have you got anything weird? So, females tend to get a lot of weird things.
No.
I mean, I get a lot of weird stuff too.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I haven't gotten anything weird yet.
Okay.
I actually don't know if I'm private or public. I know that pretty much anyone who requests me,
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Sam Quintus on Instagram, and since we are live, we are on Twitter.
Yes,
I'm at MingChen37, MingChen 37.
See, that's why I don't spell things, because you get confused halfway through and you look like an asshole.
Like I can't even spell my own name.
Like you can't even spell your own name.
Yes. So MingChen37, you can tweet me there. We are answering anything. We are on live. We are watching the tweet machine.
We are.
And you are at
the Zen Librarian, and I don't spell it for the same reason that
you don't need to spell it.
Yeah, well,
you don't need to spell
if they can't find me, they can't find me.
Yes, and if you can't get enough of us live, you can watch us.
You can watch us on Periscope. You can watch us on YouTube.
YouTube.com.
You can close your eyes and fantasize.
You. Okay, well, you can. I ain't stopping you. As long as you're listening, that's all I care about.
Man in Black 666 on Instagram started following me. He sounds like the devil.
He does.
That's an interesting choice of name, Man in Black 666.
Yes.
I'm sure you probably have a pentagram tattooed on your forehead as well. Good on you.
Or on your chest.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because you're the Man in Black.
Good on you.
666, so you're metal, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
All right. I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if you knew this about me, Sam Q, but I am the star of a recent movie that just came out on DVD. Don't know if you noticed this. Jay and Silent Bob, super groovy cartoon movie. Now, you would think the stars would be Jay and Silent Bob or Jay and Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
I pulled this up on Amazon today because we put it up. It's available now on DVD.
Yeah.
Finally. I don't know what the holdup was. I don't know if there was a exclusivity window. It's been on Netflix for like the last six months. Finally, you can own it on physical medium. Grab it at jayandsilentbob.com. Get it signed by Kevin Smith. But I went to Amazon to get a description so I could put it on our own site. And it said Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie, not rated, starring Ming Chen and our friend Mark Bernardin, who was a writer out in LA.
So, it doesn't say anything about...
No, that's it, and nobody else.
Jay or Silent Bob?
Well, they're in the description that Jay and Silent Bob win the lottery, and they use the money to become superheroes. That's the basic plot of the movie. I think you would like it.
Probably.
It's very raunchy. It's
most things that are Jay and Silent Bob kind of are.
Yeah, it was spearheaded by Jason Mewes, so you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was shocked to see it said starring
Ming Chen.
Ming Chen.
So there you go.
Which
another notch to that celebrity belt of yours.
Yes. Now, just to be clear, I have 2 lines in the movie. I play shower bully number 2, and I play voice of basically Jay wins a scratch off.
Yeah.
And in the background you hear a very Asian, like Japanese game show voice going, winner, chicken dinner.
And that's you.
That's me. Yeah. So
nice.
Based off 2 lines, I get top billing.
Top billing. I was gonna say my big theatrical debut was in 4th grade. I was in our Christmas play.
Yes.
And my line, which to this day I still remember, was I was an elf.
Yes.
I've got it, Santa, I know. Let's go down to Mexico. That's
racist, isn't it?
No, he wanted to go on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe fucking Santa wanted to go to Cabo. Who was I gonna?
Aren't you like
criticize?
Portuguese? Like half, like you're of a Portuguese descent?
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's like,
well, I couldn't say let's go to Portugal. That didn't rhyme with I know.
No, so they generalize. That's racist.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think that would fly now. That's all I'm saying.
Regardless.
Yeah, so wow.
That was my big theatrical debut. I was an elf.
All right. I thought you didn't you dress up like an ice cream cone once?
Yeah, that was a Halloween costume.
I'd like to unearth some of these
old
photos of you.
Probably aren't.
In contest. But
somebody watching Michael V. Givens.
Yes.
Watching on Periscope. Okay. Popular question: what flavor? What brew are we drinking?
All right. Well,
so this is actually Igor's Dream Russian Imperial Stout from Two Roads Brewing Company in Connecticut.
Yes, I was up there last August for the Connecticut Comic-Con, and they were doing an after party at the Two Roads Brewing Company, and I went there, and they gave me a tour, and then they started showering me with presents, basically beer. I walked out with literally an armload of beer. And this was one of them. They're like, dude, this is like, we don't give this to everybody.
Well, it's 10.9% alcohol by volume, so you probably can't handle it. You'll be like,
no, I've taken like 3 sips, and I'm plastered. I'm
I believe it.
I'm about to get really inappropriate here in a second. And Thank you,
it's,
Two Roads
it's really it's really good. It's very thick. When I was pouring it, it was very thick.
Pouring out like bread, right?
Yeah,
like brown
it really was.
alcoholic bread.
I felt like I was pouring cement. Like that's how thick this is, but it's delicious. It really is.
It's like eating. It's the beer that eats like a meal.
Yeah, like I'm literally chewing.
And what's the ABV on that? It's double digits.
It's 10.9.
10.9.
I told you.
Okay. All right.
See, you're too drunk. You can't even.
I know. I'm slurring my words and I'm repeating myself, and I'm about to get really red.
Nice.
So that's the fun part. But I figured if we're gonna celebrate our grand return,
yeah, we might as well go big.
This is how we do it
with communism.
With communism, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the Russians known to be.
Well, I am 10% Russian.
Are you really?
Yeah. My mother is.
Is that where that fire comes from?
Yeah, that's where that rebellion and that fire and that bitchiness comes from.
Some call it bitchiness. I call it fire.
Yes, I'm 50% Portuguese, 40% Ukrainian, and 10% communist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about
you. There's like a big Tell 'em Steve Dave joke that like I don't have eyebrows. I actually have these really thick caterpillar like eyebrows, like really like Russian eyebrows. Right. I got the hair, and the Portuguese doesn't help, but real Russian eyebrows.
Right, like Frida Kahlo eyebrows.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I mean that's why you don't see eyebrows up here, because like I grew up with these like bushes above my eyes that I just needed to get fucking rid of.
I can't imagine.
God, I'll show you a picture one day.
I can't imagine.
Fucking terrible.
Is it on your an old driver's license?
No, I started getting my eyebrows waxed in like freshman year of high school.
Okay, you're like, this is it. I've had enough.
And they like progressively got thinner and thinner. If I could just like not have eyebrows, I probably wouldn't do that either, because that's like real. No,
the
trash.
drawing on is like weird.
It's like white trash.
It's like it's very Joker, like new and improved Joker product.
Yeah,
Batman.
No, we're not doing that.
Bat dance. All right.
So,
welcome back, everybody.
Yes.
Yes. So, how the hell are you?
Living day by day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stuff has been happening.
Yeah.
So, I think 1 week we didn't do it. I was in Ohio. It was, if you listen to the past episode, my mother-in-law passed away, and I went out there, and we were cleaning out our house, gonna sell it. And so I went out to sort of help out with that and just be with my wife and her family.
Did you get any cool shit?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. No, my wife got back the dresser she had when she was a kid. That was kind of cool. It can get passed down to my kids. So that was cool. Except when I loaded it in the truck and I was driving with it, I broke it. But it was a small break. It's not unusable. But
you asshole! Like, as if you are not a terrible enough husband.
It's not my fault.
You broke her dresser?
Hold on. I got the truck.
Jesus fucking Christ. The truck. Debbie, kill him. Don't even divorce him. Kill him.
Well, all right. There was a dresser and then there's a mirror on top. We unbolted the mirror. The mirror, like, I didn't bolt it down correctly. It fell over and it can be fixed. I'll get it fixed.
You better fucking get it fixed.
I'll get it fixed. Yes.
Better.
But that was good. Now, the thing I was really worried about was the 75-inch LCD TV.
So wait a minute. You weren't really worried about this, heirloom from your wife's past.
I was, but it was made out of like walnut or cherry, and it had survived the 30 plus years. So I wasn't worried about that part. What I was worried about was the 2-inch thick 75-inch LCD TV that was passed down to us, and that thing I like wrapped blankets around. I bought a special box for it. I like tied it down tight, and I'm happy to say that it survived.
Where is it?
It's in the living room now. It's great.
Is your your living room even big enough for that?
I look like the AMC 24. It looks like a movie screen. Nice. In there. It's pretty awesome.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. This is my first full HD TV. So what was the first thing I did was pull up Comic Book Men HD.
Watch your face.
Watch myself in HD.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what a pretty man. Wow, I look, damn, I'm smooth. Damn, I look good in HD. Freaking 1080p, man. 1080 progressive. It was great. And then, it was cool. The TV I had before was a 37-inch. It was a flat screen.
So needless to say, this is way better.
It is. Well, I mean, when I buy something like tech like this, I try to keep it as long as I can. So it was a 10-year-old Panasonic 37. It wasn't even HD. It was called ED TV, enhanced definition. It only went up to 720p. So this is like I'm living in whatever I watch. Like I watched Shawshank the other night.
You were in jail.
I was in jail with Andy Dufresne in Red.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like I was watching like fresh fish, and yeah, but it's cool.
I was in Best Buy the other day, and I guess Alex was buying an Xbox One, and there was a sales guy, and I guess he was trying to talk a woman into a 50-inch as opposed to like a 42 or something, you know, because like obviously he's getting more money for the 50-inch.
Sure.
So he walks over to us and he goes, "Come on, show of hands here. Who doesn't need a 50-inch TV?" Right. And I'm like, look at this asshole, like trying to like get the group in.
Oh, like peer pressure?
Yeah, to help her.
Like
so I looked at him and I was just like, buddy, I'm a salesperson. Yeah. You're not going to get it that way. You got to give her realistic facts.
Okay. And?
I talked her into it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right. You didn't get a commission.
No, I didn't get a commission. But I was just like, you know what? This is how you got to do
How did you talk her into it? Was she on the fence between a 40?
She kind of was. She was leaning more toward 42. And I asked her, I was like, well, what TV, what TV do you have now? And she's like, my TV is like a 20-something inch TV.
Yeah.
And
I was like, oh,
yeah.
Lady.
So I was telling her, I got like the specs of her, like what room it was going in, what she likes to watch and this and that. And I was like, listen, for the money you're going to be spending, you might as well just go with the 50-inch.
Yes.
The guy was looking at me like,
she should have bowed down and kissed your feet.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Because you were better than
You don't ask the crowd. What was funny, though, was the guy who was selling us the Xbox One, like, totally raised his hand. He's like, I don't think you need a 50-inch TV. I'm like, dude, that's your bro right there. Yeah. Like, how are you not going to help him?
Well, you know, it's competitive there. It's, you know, it's dog eat dog.
It's true.
Dog eat dog when you put on that blue shirt.
Exactly.
You work at Best Buy. It's like the man with the other blue shirt.
Yeah.
He's your enemy. And an enemy deserves no mercy.
Well, it was funny, too, because we were buying the Xbox One, and we were getting a bundle. And he was trying to talk us into Halo.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you get 4 games as opposed to Assassin's Creed. You only get 2, and we had one of the games already. And I was just like, we don't play Halo. Like, we came here specifically to get Assassin's Creed, you know? And he, like, would not take no for an answer. And finally, I was just like, buddy, like, we don't want Halo.
Yeah. Wait, did you upgrade to Xbox One? You upgraded?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Could you get any cooler? You like hockey? You like booze? You play games? That's pretty. You like comics? You podcast?
A podcast?
Could you get any cooler, Samantha Q?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Why? So you went to the Xbox One?
Went to the Xbox One.
Well, what do you think? I
haven't actually gotten a chance to use it yet.
Oh, okay.
So we got it Sunday night, and by the time we got home, we had dinner, and like we had a whole bunch of shows that we watch on Sunday night, like Game of Thrones and that weird cooking show we watch. We plugged it in, or Alex actually plugged it in, set the whole thing up, because we were gonna keep it in the bedroom, because we still have the other Xbox.
The old like, shit Xbox.
So we still have that in the living room, and we have that in the bedroom, and so he plugs it in, and I like fell asleep. And then Monday, I worked until 10 o'clock, so we didn't do anything. Okay. And then yesterday, the Rangers game was on, so we weren't really playing video games. So I'm thinking, like, tonight, we're gonna break it in.
Tonight, you're breaking the Xbox One?
Breaking the Xbox One.
So weird. You have a console in your bedroom?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Brody from Mallrats in the beginning. Like, do you wake up and you, like, start up NHL?
Vancouver?
Like, Hartford.
The Whale?
Hartford, the Whale. Like, they win once, maybe twice, in a lifetime. Yeah. That's...
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome.
It. Yeah, no, but
all right, cool.
So we went with Assassin's Creed though.
All right, so you're gonna be like assassinating. I don't know much about Assassin's Creed. I know about like
if you've played one game, you've pretty much played them all. They're all the same.
I know about like the Templars and
there's really not much going in the way of like sequels being different from the original. It's just a different time period.
All right. I got an Xbox. No, I got a PS4 for Christmas.
Yeah, you were saying.
The only thing I've been doing is watching like Blu-ray DVDs on it. It's such a waste.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for 2 games. One is out already. Is MLB 15.
Okay.
Big baseball fan. Have not gotten it yet. The second one, which I cannot wait for. I'm so excited. Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the trailer.
Oh, dead.
It looks
as good as the movie.
It looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It comes out November 16th. Like I want I want tomorrow to be November 16th.
I have to say, I was actually, Alex, for a while now, he's been talking about getting an Xbox One, and I kept kind of talking him out of it. I was like, why? Let's like save our money,
For?
Vacations,
okay.
Better place of living, so we were kind of talking about that. Then we saw this trailer for this game called White Knight.
Okay.
Night, Night,
right.
not like
right,
K.
Not K-N-I.
Yeah. So, it's not the night we need. It's the night we deserve. Not that kind of night.
Okay.
And it's this, it reminds me of, on Super Nintendo, I used to play this game called Maniac Mansion.
Sure, I remember Maniac Mansion.
Yeah. It reminds me of that. So you're going through this house, but everything is done in, almost like Sin City, noir kind of colors.
Okay, yeah.
So it's black and white, and that's
a little splash of red every so often.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. It's not even red. It's more like a sepia that comes through. And apparently the entire game, you're in this house, and I don't know what you're looking for or why you're there.
Okay.
But, all you have is matches to see, and you collect things through the house. But then, in the commercial, there was, this thing behind you. I saw the commercial. The first thing I did was I looked at Alex. I was like, dude, you got to go get an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And he's like, why?
What?
I was like, because this is, things that connect to my childhood. I'm, real weird about.
Is it out now?
I actually don't know. I think it is.
It's almost too easy. It's like these games now.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out to the store and buy them anymore. You can download them and play them right there.
Exactly.
It's
so
awesome.
I told him, I was just like, it was the same thing as when we bought for Xbox 360 the game Limbo. It was the same thing. I told him, another weird black and white game. I told him, I was like, listen, I'll get Limbo and we can play it, but I want it. It's my game.
I'm sorry to sound old here, but I remember back in the day, going to buy Atari cartridges. I remember I wanted Pole Position really bad. God, I'm really dating myself. But you go out, and I remember getting to Sears or whatever, and they're like, sorry, we're all sold out.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck. Right, I was 8 years old, going, fuck.
Yeah.
No Pole Position. Or Q-Bird or, whatever.
The Super
now you don't have to do it anymore.
The Legend of Zelda for Super Nintendo, we had the gold cartridge.
Yes, I remember the gold cartridge.
And I just remember as a kid, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is it'll never get better than this.
Yeah.
It'll never get better.
And yeah, it got way better real quick.
It got way better. Yes. So, all right. Well, if you ever, maybe one day we could swap if you want some PS4 action.
No.
We could trade for.
You can just come to my house and play my Xbox One.
All right. You can come over and,
see your 75-inch TV.
Yeah, PS4. I've been to your place. Your TV's no slouch.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Sweet.
That's not mine. That's Alex's.
Yeah.
Technically. Mine's in the bedroom.
But it's it was, you were right. It was a huge jump. I turned on the TV and they're like, oh, would you like to, it's got built-in, Netflix. It's got built-in YouTube. I was watching Us on the TV.
That's weird.
Because you can pull up our Sam and Ming show.
That's weird.
Podcast videos on the TV. Weird. There's built-in Hulu Plus and Vudu and Amazon Prime Video and all that shit.
You could probably watch honest trailers on YouTube.
You could tweet from the from the TV.
It's great.
You can Facebook from the TV.
Honest Trailers had a really good one the other day. Oh God, which one was it? I have to look it up. Right. I remember I was laughing hysterically. It was just what I needed. I had this, I said, this terrible week from hell, basically.
Right.
And my go-to was Honest Trailers. We'll see what it is.
Okay, while you do that, I want to give it a little shout out. Our friend Samantha Aurelio.
She's
listening live right now.
Yeah.
Samantha Aurelio, our Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter friend who is on LA now.
Daredevil.
Oh,
and
the Ben Affleck Daredevil?
Yeah, Interstellar and Daredevil.
Okay.
But I actually just saw that they just put up the Batman vs. Superman.
Okay.
I might have to watch that.
Let's talk about it in a second. So Samantha Aurelio just released her EP, which you can get at samanthaaurelio.bandcamp.com. 5 songs. Your song.
My song.
Is amongst them.
It is.
What did you think? Did you?
I listened to it. Yep, yeah. I listened to it. I cried.
There's a song.
Sometimes.
It's called Sometimes.
It's based on my life.
Yes.
Something
a little slice of your life.
Yeah, a little slice of my life that I talked about with Sam, and she found something I said so beautiful, she put it into a song.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no,
that's cool, although it's not the most happiest thing.
Yeah, no, it's not the happiest. It's actually a terribly shitty thing.
Yeah.
But
are all the Beatles songs happy?
Yeah, no. I was actually just reading an article about Yoko saying that Ringo Starr was the most influential Beatle. And I'm like, yes! Ringo Starr is my favorite.
Well, he's a drummer. Your boyfriend's a drummer. Is that
no? Ringo Starr's always been my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's like the Beatle that no one loves.
But he's a Beatle. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
It's like you're the worst Beatle. It's like, oh yeah, well at least I'm a Beatle, bitch.
Exactly.
At least I'm in the freaking Beatles, bitch. What have you done? I like you gotta love that. You gotta love that. Like he don't care. He still gets the check like everybody else does.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone except John Lennon and George Harrison.
Well, I mean, dead. Their families are still getting checks, and they'll get checks for the rest of their lives.
It's just, it struck me as weird that she would say that about Ringo and not John Lennon.
Right. Well,
I actually kind of feel like she's like, I feel like John Lennon was the most influential.
Yeah. Well, don't you take that with a grain of salt? You've heard Yoko's music, right?
Yeah, sure. She's actually a fucking music, psychopath. Right? So.
Yeah. I remember Rob was listening. He was watching a Yoko Ono singing on YouTube. She was at some art museum or something, like singing live. And he thought he had his headphones in, but they were unplugged. And it sounded like porn. And he was on a public train. And people were asking him to stop. They thought he was watching porn. It was pretty funny. Like, you know, you've heard her music sounds like porn.
It does.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Sam, I did get it. I have yet to listen to it. I've had the week from hell.
The EP?
Yeah, no,
Do you want to talk?
She said, "Did you get the live track I sent you?" And I haven't had a chance to listen. So yeah, I can actually.
Do you want to talk about what's going on? Just so.
I think I can get through it.
Okay.
So about a week ago, last Monday, my mother calls me in the morning. Well, first she texts me if I happen to be off. She texts me, "Are you off?" And then about 5 minutes later, she calls me. Now this is like 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I pick up the phone and I'm like, yeah, like I'm off today. Today's my day off. I was sleeping. What's up? She's sobbing hysterically. And she's like, you know, can you get up here? I need you. And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong? Like, I had no idea if there was something wrong, if something happened to somebody, if like her and my father had like something going on, had no idea. And she's just like, I need you here. I can't get up the steps. I'm trying to do the taxes. You know, I need help. So I was like, okay. So I hopped in my car. I drove all the way up to Sayreville and I got there and my mother's in like a terrible state. Like she can't walk up the steps. Like she literally cannot walk up the steps and she's crying. She's looking for some piece of paper she needs for her taxes and she doesn't know where she put it. It could be upstairs in the attic. It could be downstairs. So she has me running around the house and I'm kind of like, what is going on? Like, A, why can't you walk? She was in such terrible pain. So she'd been going to a doctor, which my mother never goes to doctors, which I guess is the whole moral of this story. She never goes to doctors and she's been seeing this doctor and they've been thinking this is like a back problem. And she's been telling them it's not like a spine problem. Right. And she was supposed to have a doctor's appointment that day. So my father calls me and he's like, your mother was in a terrible state last night. Your sister told me to take her to the hospital, but she wouldn't go because she had to finish the taxes. And you know the way your mother is. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, like I'm here now. She's not doing good. So he's like, call the doctor, cancel her appointment. We're bringing her to the hospital. So we bring her to the hospital and this is on Monday. And, you know, CAT scans and MRIs and blood tests and
battery of tests.
Yeah. So finally at about 9:00 at night, they admit her and, you know, the doctor comes in and he's kind of like being vague about it. He's kind of like, well, we think it's multiple myeloma, but there's nothing to worry about. And that's that. And I'm going to run from the room before you ask me any questions. So, like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to hop on my smartphone because
what the fuck did you
we all
say?
Have like a fucking encyclopedia in our pants right now.
English.
So I look up multiple myeloma and it's a type of cancer that is in your bones and in like the plasma of your bones. And okay, so now I'm a little worried, but you know, like.
Yeah, that's horrible.
You know, so I called my job and I was like, listen, I'm probably not coming into work tomorrow. Yeah. You know, if we can get coverage. And my boss is like, really? Like, you think your mother has cancer and you're worried about ruining my week? Like,
so they were cool about it.
Yeah, so they were cool. So on Tuesday, I was headed up there. I was waiting for my dad because we were going to go up together and we were going up at about 2:30 and my sister texts me and I asked her how mom was, and I was actually right here in Red Bank. I was going to get breakfast before I headed up there. And my sister texts me. I asked her how mom is because she was there with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, the doctor came to see us this morning, and it's breast cancer that's spread to her bones. And they're optimistic, but he asked her how long she's known about it. And he said no judgment. So she told him about a year. And when I talked to my father, my dad said that he's like 75% sure she knew for longer than a year. Oh, so right. My mother is one of those people who is, if there's a problem, she's going to bury her head in the sand and hope it goes away.
Yeah.
Instead of facing it head on. And, you know, I'm fucking pissed at her.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the worst part about it, because now my mother's been diagnosed with, you know, breast cancer that spread to her bones. Right. And, you know, I love my mother and I'm going to be here with her this entire time.
But you're
like,
still asking, like, why?
There's like this huge part of me that's just like, how could you be so fucking careless with yourself? Right. Like, and my first yoga instructor ever, she actually happened to just come into my job like 2 days later when I was finally back at work. And she's like, oh my God, how are you? And I like just word vomit the whole story up to her sobbing in her arms.
So good, yeah.
Because I've been like crying hysterically in my car back and forth from New Brunswick to Eatontown. So she looks at me and I blurt out this whole story to her, and she goes, she was the first person who said it, not like, I'm so sorry. She looks at me and she goes, and how fucking pissed are you? And I was like, I'm so angry. And she goes, and how are you dealing with that? Because she knows, like I knew, I couldn't yell at my mother. Like, that's not going to make the situation better. No. I couldn't cry in front of my mom. I've been like literally secretly crying in my car to and from the hospital to my house. And I was like, you know, like, I haven't done anything about it. So she told me, she's like, I want you to go for a run in the woods. I want you to find this secluded spot. I want you to scream at the top of your lungs. I want you to beat the shit out of any tree that you see. And I want you to be okay. Yeah. And she's like, you know, the truth is you're probably not going to be okay for a little while. And she's right. I mean, like, I'm angry. And it's every day that I'm driving up there, it's just like this. How the fuck did I like? It's surreal. Why? Like it's surreal. It's not like my life. Like, I remember I was driving the other day and I'm like, I just want to wake up because like this isn't my life. Like this isn't me. And even though the doctors are optimistic, you know, like I'm a realist. You know, like I know that my parents are going to die before me. Like there's the majority, you know, of parents die before their children. You know, and I know that I'm going to lose my parents one day and I'm going to have to deal with that. Like, that's something that I inherently know.
That's real life, yeah.
And, you know, you always hope that it's going to be like old age or, you know, it's going to be 80s or 90s. They're going to slip away happily.
They
but
die in their sleep.
You know, then suddenly you get this huge fucking word like cancer in your vocabulary, which like up until last week, I probably, you know, beside my aunt dying of cancer, like, and hers, like my mother was, you know, she stuck her head in the sand and by the time she died, you know, it was so far spread through her body, they didn't even know where it began. You know, up until like a week ago, I didn't even use this word. Like I didn't even think of it.
Right.
And suddenly here it is in my vocabulary. And it's like this period, like even though my mother could be healthy for a very long time with this, like it's not something that they can cure. It's something that they can manage. And like, to me, it's like the eventual period on her life. And that's a shitty way to look at it. Like, I know that. And that's like negative and terrible, but I'm a realist and I'm a pessimist at that. And it's just like, cancer sucks. Like, nobody should have to deal with this. And nobody understands what it's like to have to deal with it until like you're dealing with it. And then you're like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like now I know why people hate this word.
Yeah. I mean, there's no good thing about it.
Like there's nothing. And it's just, you know, you want to be mad and you want to be sad and you want to be happy and you want to be positive. And
it's like
these
tough.
Rush of fucking emotions that like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's It's fucking terrible, actually. It's really bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got us. You got me. You got a whole audience behind you.
It was funny too because I went into work like 2 days later, and my co-manager, she walked in, and I'm the youngest person there by a lot.
Yeah, I've been there.
So they joke around that I'm the baby of the group, and that by working there, I've know.
You are. Everyone else is 67.
I have 15 other mommies taking care of me now. And my co-manager came in, and she asked me how I was.
Yes.
And I just started sobbing hysterically on the floor. And she picked me up and she just let me cry for 15 minutes in the back room with her. And I was just I've worked at this job for 3 months now.
Yeah, that was cool of them.
And they've been more they tell me every day, they're like, do you want to go home early? And I'm like, no, because I'm just going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit there and look at my wall and think oh, cancer.
Right.
And, go slowly crazy. But it's, I never thought I'd hate a word this much.
It's awful.
And I have a friend who's, going through something similar, and he told me, we kind of connected and talked about it online, and he told me, he's like, I'm going to be totally honest with you. And he goes, I'm going to be honest in a way that I know you can handle.
Right.
And he goes, and probably most people aren't going to tell you this. He goes, but it's not going to get easier. It's never going to get easier.
Right.
And he's like, you're just going to become tougher. And he goes, and it's going to take a while. And he's like, you have not even begun to see the worst of this yet. He's like, so you can't show her.
Yeah.
You have to be there for her because, she might not be able to be there for herself right now.
Still sucks. It
really does.
I don't know how else to put it.
It really does.
So what are the next steps right now?
So she, like I said, my mother doesn't go to doctors, which is another reason. So now she's got to go to doctors, whether she likes it or not.
Yeah. There's no choice.
She has 2 doctor's appointments tomorrow, and the first biopsy they did, it was inconclusive, so they have to do another one.
Right.
So now it's just kind of waiting for the results. Like I said, they're optimistic about it.
Yeah.
But the myeloma, which is cancer in her bones, and it causes lesions in her bones, and it apparently weakened her bones. Which is ironic because my mother drinks a glass of milk every night.
Right.
And I always thought growing up, I was like, oh, my mom's getting all this great calcium. She probably is strong as a friggin' ox.
Fuck you, osteoporosis.
So, so they don't think that they're going to have to do chemo. They don't know for sure yet.
Okay.
But it will be some kind of radiation.
Okay.
Whether or not it's continued or just, a few times.
Right. So there's going to be all the stuff that goes with that.
Yeah, it's going to be the whole shebang. So the one thing that, Alex even said, I was talking to my father the other day, and when we get off the phone with each other, we never say I love you.
Yeah.
We're not that family. We're
yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, we're a little more brass tacks about shit in my house.
Right.
And I was just talking to my father, and I was just like, okay, well, I'll be up in a little bit, blah blah blah. I'll see you. Love you. Bye. And I just hung up the phone, and Alex looks at me. He goes, not that I want to say that this is a good thing that's happened to you. And he goes, but for the first time, my sister and my mother are always clashing with each other. And for the first time, my sister is actually just sitting by my mother's bedside with her and listening to everything she says. And, all of us are actually kind of talking to one another and really just showing each other that we love each other. Because you know what? You don't know. And I guess that's, when my aunt died, she was in the hospital and they found out that she had cancer, and it was so spread that they couldn't even tell where it began.
Right.
And she died 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
So you never know when you're going to get bad news, and 3 weeks later you're going to lose somebody, or 3 weeks later you're going to lose yourself. So, I guess it brought us closer as a family, which 2 thumbs way up.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have us hate each other and have my mother be healthy than, have us all telling each other that we love each other. And
that's a well, obviously, yeah. But still, I don't know. Too bad you can't have everything, I guess, all the positives.
No,
which stinks, but all right.
trying to stay. Like I said, I went to yoga the other day.
Yeah.
My yoga instructor, Bridget's been checking in on me every day.
Bridget's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's
amazing.
She's been checking in on me every day to make sure I'm not like swinging from my ceiling rafters or something.
Oh don't pull a Brian. That's a Brian Johnson move.
Yeah, I went to yoga with her the other day, and then I went for a run, and it's been good. I've been trying to just stay happy and stay healthy, and
it's tough. Well, if you need anything, I'm here.
So
you got a lot of people behind you.
Yeah, it's people are normal when they know that you're going through something.
No, I guess that's a good way of putting it, but. I'm a praying man, so I will.
You'll be doing some praying.
No, pray for Debbie. We'll pray for your mom.
Pray for Sandy.
Pray for Sandy. Pray for Sandy. All right. Well, so that's that. That's where I've been. So,
yeah.
So anyone crying that we haven't been on, well, you're an asshole. So.
Everyone is like, when's there gonna be another show? Asshole.
Yeah. Well, here we are. We're here.
We are here.
We're back. Yeah. Well, there is. Speaking of your family, we learned of a crazy familial connection about 3-4 weeks ago that I almost even forgot about it. It was so long ago, but we were real excited when we heard about it. I don't know how you found out about it. You said some dude tweeted you about this?
No, some guy, I guess, on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I would. He said something about how Brian Johnson.
Yes.
He had a I guess it wasn't on Tell 'em Steve Dave. I'm not sure what it was on.
Yeah.
He talked about a Mr. Quintus that he used to work with at a movie theater.
Yeah.
Is that by any chance a relation to you? And I'm like, well, Brian Johnson lives down here, and my father used to be a manager of the Hazlitt Multiplex, which is down here.
Right.
So I was like, I asked my father, and at first my father, my father worked at that movie theater for 15 years. He worked there a while.
Right.
Pretty much since I was 9 years old.
Your dad is he still a manager?
No, he
used to be a manager.
He used to be the manager there.
Okay, at a movie theater.
Yeah,
for a long time.
Yeah, it was his part-time job. He worked one job and then he would go to that. It's kind of his fun,
The movie theater was the fun
extra way of making a little cash on the side.
Right.
So apparently, Brian worked there between 1993 and 1994.
I had forgotten that because Brian's had so many jobs that they all get jumbled. He was a Domino's pizza boy for pizza delivery man for a while. He worked at the rec center for a while. I think he moved furniture at Sears for a while. He's held a number of jobs.
It was funny too because I asked,
he had mentioned vaguely, I worked at a movie theater. I was somewhat high, not high up, but he had been there enough, long enough where.
Well, he said, it was between 1993 and 94. My father started working there at the end of 1992. So it would have been right then. And I said, I was 8 years old. I remember him starting there.
Brian?
No, I remember my father. I remember the first
theater.
time I walked into that movie theater because my father had come from Amboy.
Okay.
And this movie theater was a little better.
Right.
And I remember walking in there. So Brian said that he worked with my dad about 9 months. And then he quit.
You worked together back in the day. So this is the connection. Yeah, they actually worked together.
It was funny too because Brian said that he was your dad was the only cool one there, which knowing Brian's sense of humor and my father's sick, twisted sense of humor,
they probably got along.
Yeah, they probably get along great. Okay. And Brian actually started telling me about this other manager that worked there that
he was a dick.
That was he was a complete as Brian calls him, a socially awkward fuck up who had totally gray hair at 24. And apparently he used to walk by the women's changing room and try and peek in there. And he went as far to drill a hole in the wall to peek in there.
Freaking Porkies and shit.
And it's funny because I remember 8-year-old me hearing this story at my kitchen table from my father's mouth. So I asked him, I was like, you probably don't remember Brian. I was like, do you remember this guy, that blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And my father was like, yeah. He goes, he was this real fucking creepy guy who like got fired because like he like drilled a hole.
Okay, he wasn't talking about Brian. Just to be clear.
No.
Okay.
He was talking about this guy that Brian was talking about.
Right.
And then I showed my father a picture of what Brian looked like in 1993.
Right.
And he's like, oh my God. He's like, I do remember him.
Yeah.
So apparently, and I guess,
so your dad remembers him.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
And he said, it was funny too, because Brian's like, I recall, and he goes, and Kevin would too, telling him that I worked with this guy that was so cool, and it was your father. And I was like, what's funny is that like my father has sold Kevin Smith movie tickets. Like Kevin,
sure.
Kevin would come to the movies and has
sure.
and my father obviously knew who he was and would sell him movie tickets. So like, there's like this weird universe right now that like I podcast here. I know Brian. Brian worked with my father.
Right.
Kevin knew that Brian worked with my father, but my father knew Kevin from buying tickets.
Yeah.
Like it's this weird fucking like quadrilateral.
It life is weird. It just and it's a small world.
Yeah.
And that's why I try not to piss anybody off because like nothing like things always come back.
Yeah.
In one form or the other. So that is weird though.
Yeah. What a small world.
It is very weird.
So I was telling my dad, and my dad's like, oh, so what's Brian do now?
Yeah,
I was
what's
like,
he up to?
Well, he's on TV now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still that same asshole you remember from
So
back
I was
in
like, one day
then.
I'm going to have like a barbecue at my apartment and
we just all come out?
invite all of them because my father and Brian would probably get along great. They have the same personality.
Whoa. Let's not go that far.
Yeah, no.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian's he's a force. He's his own personality. But there's a reason we all sort of get along. It's because we're all kind of whacked out.
Yeah. So.
Wow. All right. So
small world.
So what was that? 23 years?
1993.
22 years ago. Brian Johnson was, I guess, taking orders from your dad. I guess. Wow. All right. 22 years ago, Brian Johnson was actually employed. He had a job. Brian has worked.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is why he doesn't work now, because he found out how bad it was. So
he's seen the world.
Yes. Yeah. Black Pete here. Black Pete TSD says, well, he's just them two doing a pod.
What, like Brian and my father?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh my God, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It would be like the most politically incorrect podcast ever.
I would listen to that.
Yeah.
Does your dad want a podcast? I'll hook up all the gear.
Yeah. I'll tell my dad. It was funny too because what did my father say? He's like, oh, he goes, oh, well, now I could be in Kevin's next film.
Sure.
I was like, yeah, Dad.
Did he have any good stories? I guess he would have said something.
About Brian?
Yeah.
We actually really didn't even get much of a chance to talk about it. I don't even know if he
had all this
remembers
shit going on,
that far back. But like I said, when Brian was telling me this story about this creepy guy, I'm like, I fucking know this story already. Like I know this because I remember like 8-year-old self, my father used to talk about work at the dinner table. And I remember that story. I remember that fucking guy.
Wow. All right.
So.
What a weird.
Yeah.
And here you are, your judge. Tom Steve Dave Christmas special.
There you go.
Didn't know at the time.
Didn't know it at the time that me and Brian Johnson had this weird connection between us.
That is very odd.
My father.
That is very odd. Well, I have not met your father yet.
You could have met him, but you weren't here.
I wasn't here. I was invited.
Yes.
But that brings us to our next story.
So in between, weird Brian Johnson connection with my father and my mother having cancer.
Right.
We actually had a joyous momentous occasion.
You did. What were you celebrating?
My sister, we've been talking about it for a while now.
Yeah.
She got married.
She did.
She's shotgun wedding, 6 months pregnant.
Okay.
So
6 months already?
Yeah, 6 months already.
Oh, shit.
She had me touching her baby belly the other day.
Did you feel movement?
I think maybe.
Okay.
I'm like kind of weirded out by unborn children.
Right, it's kind of like Alien a little bit.
Yeah, like when the kid's born, I'll be fine. But like up until then, like it's just a little squishy.
Sure.
So my sister, she got married on April 8th, 2015. Which
it wasn't your ordinary wedding though.
You know what? It was a fucking disaster every way you looked at it. About 2 days before, we realized it was going to be like 30 degrees and pouring the entire day.
Yeah. Now your sisters insist on getting married on April 8th. Which was 4/8.
Because they're Lost fans.
They're Lost fans. So 4/8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Am I correct on those
Something
numbers?
like that.
Okay, let's just say I'm right on that. Anybody on Twitter can correct me, but I believe.
So they had joked. And actually, ironically enough, hearing, they both did their own vows and hearing Ryan, my now brother-in-law's vows, he's like, a while back, Tina and I, before she was pregnant, he goes, Tina and I joked about how cool it would be to get married on the Lost numbers 4/8/15.
Yes.
But, this was in December and April was 4 months, or this was in November, October, and April was a few months away. So, we knew that we weren't going to be just getting married to get married on the Lost numbers. So they kind of planned to do 4/8/16, which are also Lost numbers, just skipping the 15.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that wouldn't have been accurate though.
And he said, and then my sister obviously was told by 3 doctors for 7 years that she couldn't get pregnant. Miracle.
Oh, okay.
She got pregnant and suddenly it kind of made sense just to get married on this day that they joked about. So for some reason, hearing it from my sister's mouth, I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, they're getting married. They're doing like fucking Lost. Like, who is this person? My sister, why is she being so dumb? But for some reason, like hearing it, standing behind her in a wedding dress, holding holding her bouquet of flowers for her, like somehow hearing my future brother-in-law say it kind of actually made sense.
Okay.
They both had beautiful vows for each other.
Were they Lost related?
No, actually, neither one of them said any. His had a few. He said something about.
He threw some references.
He threw some references. Right. Hers not so much. And then the best man speech, he said something about constants, finding their constants. And I told him, I was like, I'm so glad you said that because I left that out of my speech completely.
Oh wait, he did. They said that about constants. All right, that was my. That was my joke, and they did it.
That was I'm sorry, I have to click this link that somebody just sent me.
What is it?
It's apparently a sexy Admiral Akbar costume.
Oh, I saw that. It was
serious?
It was sexy.
You've got to be kidding me.
It was sexy.
This is great. So yes, they
there's a song by Drive Shaft, by the way.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
All right. I couldn't find. They don't have "You Are Everybody." I can't find it on Spotify. Sorry. You are everybody. Yeah, there you go.
So 2 days before, we realized that we had to move this indoors.
All right. Originally, they wanted it outside.
Yeah, it was going to be outside at a park. And
was there any thought of doing it on the beach, like on the island?
Yeah, there was. I guess they just decided that they were going to do it in the park because they could grill there and they could have a little reception.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But of course, it was going to be like 36 degrees and raining.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of nix that. So my mother found them a little back room at a restaurant in town, and we did it there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I have to say, actually, for all my bitching about my sister and complaining.
Yeah, in that moment, it's like nothing matters. Everything else.
She put on that wedding dress, and I remember I just looked at her and I was like, "You are the most beautiful thing in the world."
It's great.
Like she didn't even look pregnant in any of the pictures I took. She really didn't.
Yeah.
Her and Ryan, they had these adorable vows for one another.
Yeah.
And then we got up. My speech was 10 times better because I didn't ramble. I had it written down.
All right.
But George, the best man, kind of rambles. He kind of got lost a little bit.
Dudes tend to do that. They're not good at. Most guys I know are bad at wedding speeches. Me, I'm an awesome wedding speech.
Yeah. So
giver,
mine.
By the way,
mine actually. I decided. I started by saying that I took Vince Vaughn's words to I'm not going to do any jokes. I'm just going to go serious.
Okay.
And then for some reason, my entire 5 minutes of speaking, everyone was laughing. I apparently was telling jokes without even knowing.
Wow. All right. And was there an open bar?
No, there wasn't.
No booze. Okay.
But you know, I had a great speech, and then they had their one little dance.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they cut their cake. And
what did they dance to?
Cecilia and the Satellite.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Okay.
So,
and did they get married at 4:23?
No, actually they didn't. So
42 seconds?
I have to applaud them. The whole ceremony was done actually before that. About an hour before that, I was driving and I saw people start posting about it. I was like, oh man, like they totally missed an opportunity to get married at the time.
They put that much effort into it. Well, 4:50, that's good enough.
Yeah.
That's pretty
good. The one big surprise of the day was in Ryan's vows. They had been going back and forth with names.
Yes.
And they finally...
Oh, the kid's name, yeah.
They finally branched out of the lost names.
Yeah, the Sawyer, Ford...
I mean, Hurley. I still think the reason that they picked this name is dumb as shit, but the name actually doesn't bother me.
Okay, what's the name? What's the big revelation here? Their child,
name,
their
he said
child.
it. He said the name of the kid, which was him agreeing to what she wanted in the name.
And it was in the vows. So
it was in the vows.
Set in stone now.
So if she wants to change it now, it's her choice, but he agreed to that name. So the name is going to be Griffin.
Griffin.
Spelled with a Y.
Named after...
Harry Potter.
Oh, like Gryffindor? That's not even Lost related, though.
I know, but it's still something that a 13-year-old would name their
literally
hamster.
just headbutted your microphone right there.
It's still something that like a 13-year-old would name their hamster. Like, I'm going to name my hamster Gryffindor.
With a Y, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, like Gryffindor. Well,
like
that's
Gryffindor.
Cool.
So the kid's name for now is Griffin.
I like that.
And I think it's a dumb backstory with the name, but I think it's a good name. So she's been calling it him Griffin, and so have I guess.
Wow, I mean they're it's really like freaking they're fanboys.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Your sister.
Well, it was funny too because
I couldn't help it.
I actually mentioned a character from Game of Thrones that I wanted to name my son after.
Okay.
And she looks at me and she goes, I really like that name. I was like, fuck no, now she's going to steal it.
Yeah,
but
can't.
the name actually wouldn't match up with her new last name.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I mean,
Griffin's cool.
My favorite character in Game of Thrones was Renly. And I think that's an awesome name, but her new last name is Loyly, so she couldn't name her kid Renly Loyly.
Khal Drogo Loyly. Yeah. All
so, right. my sister and my brand new brother-in-law.
So you're saying it could change again, then?
It could change. I think she's going to keep it Griffin now, though, because it's in the vows.
That's cool.
So
it's cool. So there was a whole reception and
there's a whole reception.
So were you drinking Dharma wine and shit? And
no,
like Dharma.
That was the just the day. That was the only Lost reference, really.
Oh, really?
It was just we had to buy our own drinks because we were in this restaurant.
Oh man, like I would have come. I was in Ohio, unfortunately, but I might have dressed up. I have my Hanzo costume still in the closet, the white lab coat with the Dharma. I have a Dharma symbol on it, and I already have the Asian part.
I loved you in that show.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was good. I was good
in both parts that you played.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you were great in both roles.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I would have gotten like a rabbit, like stroke, but. Did anybody come in costume?
No one came in costume.
See, I would have been. I would have felt.
I think everyone was just really happy that we weren't outside. Actually.
Okay.
So. I can't focus. The funniest thing that happened was
That's cool.
Alex was taking pictures, and my sister she instructs color guard, and her instructor is gay as a maypole. Okay. And at the ceremony, Alex was taking pictures, and apparently Dan walked up to my sister after and he goes, "Oh my God, who is that photographer? And is he single?" And my sister goes, "That's actually or he goes, "Is he available?"
Isn't he a dish?
And she goes, "That's actually my sister's boyfriend." He goes, "Okay, but is he available?"
Right. Let's clarify here.
So that's apparently.
Well, you ain't married, so.
Yeah, my boyfriend's not sleeping with another man.
I'm just saying he ain't married, so So the answer is yes, he is. He is available. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So there was no. Wow. Okay. No. Yeah. I may have come in costume. I still plan on getting them something. I'm going to a couple cons where
you might run into people.
There's no might. I think I'm I'm trying to become friends with all of them. So, what's it? Daniel Day Kim was very friendly to me. So I think,
I think you're both Asian.
True, but you know what? That's kind of an unwritten thing, I guess.
Yeah, like Asians got to watch. Speaking about people who are Asian,
yeah. Well, here, give me a 1 to 10 on a scale here. If I mention Juliet, like as far as importance in the Lost World.
Importance?
Yeah, Juliet, 1 to 10. 10 being
for
awesome.
My sister, like 9.
9?
Yeah,
really?
She loved Juliet.
Really? Okay. Desmond.
10.
10. Okay.
10.
And that looks like no Rousseau at this one. All right, I'm going to a con in June, where there's going to be a lot of lost cast members. Oh no, Rousseau is coming. All right,
That's like a 2.
2. No love for Rousseau. All right.
No love for Rousseau.
All right, good enough.
Speaking of Asian people,
okay.
That kid that's not Asian at all, I don't know why Asian brought him up, that played Noah on The Walking Dead.
Which Noah?
The black one.
Okay, there were actually 2 Noahs in Walking Dead.
Really?
Yes, there was a Noah who was in Woodbury.
Oh, not
he
him.
was kind of
Noah, Black Noah.
Tyler James Williams, yes.
Yeah.
Great guy.
He's going to be on the new Criminal Minds spinoff.
Yes, he is.
I had no fucking idea. Did you tell me about this?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I felt like maybe you might have told me and I just don't listen to you half the time.
No, it was no, I did not. That actually came out in a press release way back in January.
Yeah, I don't read those things.
Yeah, which is good because you would have known he was going to die then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you know The Walking Dead. That's how you know people are going to die.
Exactly.
Because
when they go on to better shows.
Yeah, even Chad Coleman, who plays Tyrese, they announced it too.
I was watching, I don't really watch Criminal Minds too much anymore, but for some reason the other day I had nothing to watch. So I went on demand. I was like, I'll watch the latest episode. Yeah. And it had Gary Sinise in it. So I was like, oh shit, like I'm going to watch this Gary Sinise.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Exactly. Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. You know, like
magic legs, dude.
Exactly. You know, like
magic legs.
It's my favorite part of the movie where he goes, it's time to test out my sea legs. Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, continue. Criminal Minds.
So I saw Gary Sinise was in it, so I was like, oh shit, I'll watch that. Okay. And it was apparently for this new spin-off that they're going to do, like Beyond Borders.
Okay.
And then, like, lo and behold, Monty walks in, and it's the fucking black kid from Walking Dead, Noah. Yeah. I was like, Noah?
Is it Tyler James? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I guess now I know why they killed him, but this show's probably not going to last.
Wasn't that good?
No, it actually was, but I mean, like, spin-offs... unless you're CSI or NCIS, right. Doesn't really work. And Criminal Minds has already tried to spin off once before and it like failed brutally. Okay. So like I'm kind of hoping that the fact that Gary Sinise is in this and the chick from Breaking Bad.
Which chick?
Anna Gunn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
Which I mean, it's funny because I watched her for years on Breaking Bad, but I actually know her from Grace Point.
Yeah.
So she's going to be on it.
Wow, you got a lot of TV going on here. I've been trying to catch up, and like on the hierarchy of TV, like Criminal Minds isn't even on my chart.
Yeah,
like the stuff that like I didn't even watch that much TV, but I mean the cool stuff that is out now. Like first of all, you got 50 million super comic book TV shows. Sam. Got 50 million comic TV shows. Goodbye, Samantha Rio signing off. She's got to go to work or something. So, anyways,
she's gotta go be famous.
She's gotta go famous. Yeah. SamanthaAurelia.bandcamp.com, everybody. So, 50 million superhero TV shows I'm trying to catch up with. Flash, Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then, freaking Daredevil came out. Have you watched any of it?
No.
It's really good.
Tony's been telling me to watch it. He, like, texts me, like, daily, like, have you watched Daredevil yet? And I'm like, I hated... like the movie Daredevil.
It's not the movie.
I know.
It's nowhere close to the movie.
I like really want to play that honest trailer for Daredevil because it was the fucking funniest thing ever.
If you don't like the show by the end of the second episode, like the end of episode 2 is awesome. It's so, and I know you. We were friends for a while. If you're not hooked by the end of this episode 2,
you know that if I'm not hooked by the end of episode 1, I won't.
No,
watch
episode 1 is good. Episode 1 is amazing, but the end of episode 2 is like this is like some good shit, man. Like they're not messing around. It's good. Even freaking Mike Zapsik, who hates everything, who's he's got a pretty critical eye. He loves it. So I think you'll fall in love with the characters. Dude who plays Matt Murdock, a Brit, by the way. Amazing. Guy who plays Foggy. Like everybody is is pretty spot on. So just, I'm just saying. Now I know, you hear everybody blowing the show. You're like, well, no, I'm not going to watch it. But they did a good job with this one. So if you have Netflix, you can watch all, I think, 13 episodes. I'm not all caught up yet. I'm about halfway done. But it is, it's pretty damn good. So that, there's that, I've been catching up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's game.
Sorry, I wanted to play something for you.
All right.
From the filmmaker who ruined not one, not two, but 3 different superheroes, comes Catwoman for men, Daredevil. Before Netflix and Marvel Studios team up to hopefully do the character justice, return to the early 2000s when superhero movies were still full of crappy CGI, Matrixing, Sopranos, and Izzy's.
Wilson Fisk is in the hizzy.
Fresh off Pearl Harbor and Geely, 2003's least favorite actor Ben Affleck stars as Matt Murdock, a boy granted superpowers after running face first into an absurd amount of gigantic unsecured toxic waste containers. With his eyesight taken from him, he'll use his other 4 senses to see perfectly, yet still dress up like a blind guy to score sympathy points with hot chicks.
What are you, blind? Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Which gives Ben Affleck an excuse to show off his stupid cross-eyed derp face. Ermagerd, it's the derp devil. By day, he's a lawyer who's terrible at his job.
Another rapist back on the streets.
But by night, he's the daredevil, a vigilante who beats up the men he's too incompetent to prosecute.
I was acquitted. Not by me.
And lets innocent people die so he can have PG-13 sex with Jennifer Garner.
I have to go.
Stay with me.
Cheer for a superhero who's barely more powerful than your average cop, as this poor man Spider-Man fights crime with an odd grab bag of powers like super jumping, creepy smelling, and super heart rate monitoring. So he's a human lie detector, and he still can't win a case? Wow. Just wow. Along for the ride on Daredevil's generic, directionless quest for justice is Elektra Nachios, a girl who, for the first half of the movie, is really just there to look hot.
You are so
Some like serious tits in this.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to look beautiful for you.
So hot that Matt will add stalking and sexual harassment to his growing list of crimes.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Take it easy.
I don't like being touched.
Why don't you tell me what you do like? We'll start there.
See, kids? If a girl doesn't like you, beat her up until she changes her mind. Witness the least subtle superhero movie since Batman and Robin, as Elektra and Daredevil team up against the Kingpin, a man who wants to be a kingpin, and Bullseye, a man who targets things. As if the giant f***ing target on his head wasn't enough of a giveaway. Bullseye. But if you still manage to get lost, don't worry, because Ben Affleck will explain everything in voiceover that sounds like he's just waking up from a coma.
My sense of sound gave off a kind of radar sense. There are days when I believe, and others when I have lost all faith. I had set out to save the city, but with Elektra's help, I saved myself.
Sorry, what? So settle in for what's basically Ben Affleck's really disappointing audition to be the next Batman, where he plays a brooding loner who becomes a vigilante crime fighter after his dad is murdered by criminals in an alley, uses a ridiculous Batman voice when he's in costume.
What do you want?
Justice.
Stay out of Hell's Kitchen. Travels by grappling hook. Is scared of bats.
Scared of bats?
Yeah.
And refuses to kill.
That's the C-Train!
Actually.
Oh, wait, never mind. He'll totally kill.
I'm not the bad guy.
Yeah, you kinda are, though. Starring a soundtrack full of the 2000s worst new metal bands. P.O.D., Mustang, Seether, Drowning Pool, Evanescence again, and
Nickelback.
Bad Flag
Enough said.
begins.
That's fun. That was Honest Trailers. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, like seriously, if you haven't checked out Honest Trailers,
Yeah.
it's like literally my go-to if I need to laugh.
Right.
I go straight there.
All right.
And they do honest video game trailers
Okay.
as well.
Well, I that script is horrible.
Just saying.
The script was horrible. It wasn't. I don't blame Affleck for that. But I'm also saying.
You don't blame Affleck? Like,
No,
seriously?
I don't.
Come on.
They told him what to do and say.
Oh, come on.
How is that his fault? It's not his fault.
Jesus.
Anyways, Daredevil, Netflix, highly recommend. Two horns up.
Okay.
2 horns up.
I'll check it out.
That's all I'm saying. Now let's get to more important things, though.
Yes.
The Star Wars trailer.
Yes.
Did you see it?
I did.
What did you think?
It was okay.
Did you really just like you weren't like freaking like.
My head didn't explode. No.
My head exploded.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Why?
Why?
It's from that.
What about it?
That opening shot where it's like, oh, okay, well, it looks like an X-wing. Like, holy shit, is that a Star Destroyer? Like,
okay, well, that was
awesome.
That was
like,
cool. You know, it just.
That was cool.
They're not giving much away.
Yeah, the X-wings being back in the battle scenes, and then and then you got Han and Chewie at the end. Come on,
the Han part really got me.
That was cool.
When Han appeared, it was funny too because when Han appeared, I was just like, dude, he looks good. I haven't seen Harrison Ford look that good in years.
Dude's like when his 70s, late 60s. At the least.
I have not seen him look.
He looks really good.
That good in a really long time.
Yeah. Even like freaking Air Force One, man. I thought he looked good.
Yeah, he looks good.
I can't wait. The Mark Hamill voiceover, like seeing like lightsabers and shit.
See, that's the thing though. They had to go with the Mark Hamill voiceover because Mark Hamill does not look good compared to like Harrison Ford.
I agree. He looks like the Emperor. Yeah,
and Carrie Fisher is like
the Emperor. Well, come on. Okay.
They gotta.
She looks like the Emperor too.
They gotta get that shit in order.
How?
I don't know. Plastic surgery.
It's been Jedi was 83. Come on, that was like freaking 40 years ago.
I'm just saying.
Or, Just saying. All right, I hear you, but it is cool to see all that.
It is. It reminds me of the time when they were releasing episode 1 where I said, man, they're totally doing 7, 8, and 9. Everyone thought I was fucking crazy.
Right. Now, granted, when you saw that first Phantom Menace full trailer, like that was awesome. You're like, oh, holy shit, this movie's gonna be. I saw the pot.
Oh yeah.
And like all that shit.
And then it was terrible.
Yes. So Mike Zapsik is cautious.
I'm still very cautious, actually.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
I'm all in for Ultron.
I'm done. Ultron.
I'm all in for Ultron. It finally dawned on me that like, holy shit, this is like next week.
Right. When did you start getting excited about
2 days ago.
2 days? Why 2 days ago?
I don't know. It just occurred to me that like I was looking at my schedule because on May 1st I actually have to go into New York for work during the day, and I was just like,
shit!
I was like, oh my god, that's May 1st. That's Ultron.
Yeah, but it'll be out the night before.
Yeah, no.
Are you gonna go the night before? I'm going the night before.
Yeah,
I'm going before.
No, we
I've waited long enough.
We should go like first screening.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're in honor of that. I have my Marvel pint glass here. So
I ran with a Captain America shirt on the other day.
Did you really?
I did.
Nice.
You didn't see it on Twitter and Instagram? I'm insulted.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. I'm fucking insulted.
You should be insulted. I don't know.
I have to see your goddamn mug everywhere.
Yeah. Again, overexposure.
It's true.
For sure. Overexposure.
Yeah, I guess it's because I really try not to get excited about things until they're like a week or two away.
I've noticed you're also cautious.
Yeah, like even when I know I'm gonna like eventually get worked up about it, I try not to until as very late as I can, because like I don't want to be sitting here all summer like, man, I just wish it was Star Wars time. Like I want to enjoy every day until Star Wars time, and then like get to Star Wars time and be like, holy shit, it's Star Wars.
Right. And then I saw all this cool shit beforehand.
Is it coming out on Christmas Day?
It is not Christmas Day.
It's not Christmas Day.
It is not Christmas Day.
Okay. Because it was saying this Christmas, and I was like, dude, are they putting it out on Christmas? Because I would hate to have to not spend Christmas with my family.
Right.
And I would totally choose the Force.
It is not Christmas Day.
Yeah.
It is before Christmas.
I would totally choose the Force.
It is not Christmas. Let me see. I thought it was I should know the exact date. I thought it was like the 21st or something like that, but
close enough to Christmas.
I think it's on the 23rd. I'm going to put it out on the Wednesday before. Christmas is a Friday.
Yeah.
Yes. But it is not Christmas Day. That's like
George Lucas's gift to us all.
December 18th. So it is the Friday before Christmas, a week before Christmas. That is smart. Just, and I'd be unwrapping my presents and being like, man, I wish I was at the movie theater.
Yeah, no, that's like what I would like.
It's like, kids, you're opening your present after
Star Wars.
After freaking Star Wars.
We have to go unwrap George Lucas's gift to us all first.
I guess so. He's swimming in his pool of money. He don't care.
Yeah, no, he's like,
he don't care. I think he said he hasn't even seen the trailer. Like, he's like feigning no interest in any of this.
Yeah, but he's still making like millions.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to care. He's just saying that. He's got to care. It's like,
it's probably like
if I were him, I'd be like, did they do it better than I would have? Well, there's still that. He's a competitive guy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he also has the Phantom Menace.
Is he going to be at like the premiere and shit?
I'm sure he is.
Okay. Isn't there like a no George Lucas policy? It's like his punishment for creating Jar Jar, where he can't be anywhere. Didn't he sign something that says he can't be near it?
I don't think so.
All right. Wouldn't that be cool? He goes to the movie theater
they're like, no, sorry, you can't see this.
Right.
Or you're banned from Star Wars forever.
Or do you think JJ is just kind of like, hey, you want to see it early? Like,
I mean, like, dude, if I was JJ Abrams, I would like be calling George Lucas every day, like, yo, man, let's just talk.
Rubbing it in?
No, paying homage to him. Okay. Like, yo, man, like, what do you think of this? Right. I want to do this, but, No,
I wouldn't ask for it. He doesn't need advice.
He doesn't need advice, but, like, it's George fucking Lucas.
Right.
Like,
I guess I would kind of be like, hey, I did the.
Like,
what do you
I
think?
would totally
like
fucking fanboy for George Lucas if I was J.J.
Abrams. Yeah,
like
so. Right. All right. Well, 242 days, I believe, is all we have left to wait.
All we have left.
Yes, but before that, Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Next week.
Apparently, Michael Gaines was telling me he was listening to the score before. I was totally...
Oh, is it out already?
Yeah, usually it comes out a little before the movie.
Yeah. Who's doing the score?
I actually don't even know.
All right. Well, if anybody knows, tweet it.
He'll tweet me right now.
Okay.
I actually haven't looked it up yet. Usually, it's not... Same thing. I try not to look forward to things.
Right.
So I try not to look at what scores are coming out because then my mind just waits for them. But so now that I know it's out, I'm probably going to go and find it and
download it.
Listen to it on the ride home.
All right.
I've been listening to, that's like another thing. I've been listening to my score playlist over and over and over again because that's like what brings me like solitude and calmness. Sure. So I literally back and forth between New Brunswick and Eatontown. Yeah. Elfman and Brian Tyler. I knew Brian Tyler because he did Thor.
They threw a bunch of money at Danny Elfman again. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you excited about any of the other stuff coming? Ant-Man?
No, not
excited about Ant-Man.
No, not at all. Actually,
Fantastic Four.
Yes,
you're excited about Fantastic Four.
I actually am because I'm a huge Miles Teller fan.
Oh, all right. Okay, I thought you were like I'm going to see how big of a train wreck this is.
Oh no! I'm really actually hoping it's really good. I know it's not going to be, but I actually really like Miles Teller as an actor. I kind of am in love with him right now.
All right, I met Jamie Bell who plays Thor.
Yeah.
He's starring in the AMC TV show Turn right now. So, The Thing. Did I say Thor?
Yeah,
The Thing.
Did.
No, the guy he stars as The Thing.
Who's he playing right now?
He's on that TV show Turn.
Is he the main character?
Yes, he is.
Really?
He's Ben Grimm. Yeah, I know he looks a little skinny and
he looks like a little skinny.
He's got that weird ponytail,
emaciated.
But, he does not look like Michael Chiklis. We'll put it that
way.
Very cool guy though. I had forgotten.
Okay.
I'd forgotten that he was playing The Thing when I met him, and I was like, "Shit, man! I got like a million questions for him, and I didn't." Instead, all I did was I was talking about myself the whole time. So,
well, that's usually what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's like, I'm on Comic Book Man. It's like, how about you? It's like, I'm starring on my own TV show on AMC. I'm not just some like idiot, like part of a fivesome, and I'm playing The Thing in the Fantastic Four movie. He totally could have done that, but anyways, yes. So,
do we want to talk some hockey?
Yes. Before that, though, we were just in Canada.
Yes. Actually. How was Canada? You came back alive.
Yeah. I thought we were going to this little town called Cornwall, Ontario, and the whole joke was that we were going to go up and get turned into walruses because we had never heard of this town before. It is about an hour away from Ottawa and about an hour away from Montreal, and it is right across the American border. So we went to this thing. It's called the Cornwall and Area Pop Event, or CAPE for short. So I thought that was a cool name.
Jesus
and
Christ.
one day con, first year, and the promoters Carol Grant and Randy Sauvé, very excited about Brandon's con. They're very excited to have the comic book man up there, Mike Zapsik and me. So it was cool. They were very excited. And usually these 1 year cons can go one of two ways. One, they could be, you know, it's.
They can be good or bad.
Well, let me preface this. Running a con itself is something that I would never want to do.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You have to, you have to get a space.
You have to like manage people.
You have to sell booths to vendors.
Yeah.
So, you're basically, you're doing like a ton of things. You got to be a salesman. You got to fill these booths. Then, if you get comic book artists out, you get comic book vendors. You have to, you make a Comic Con. And then, thanks to the San Diego Comic Con, now if you run a con, you got to get celebrities out there. You have to have some kind of a draw. So they had me and Mike. They had our friend now, his name is Pat Mastroianni, who was on a TV show called Degrassi Junior High, one of Canada's highest rated TV shows back in the day.
It's because Canadians are...
Good show. I grew up watching it, actually.
Weird.
So I was grew up watching it. Had Amber Dawn Fox, who was in season 5 of The Walking Dead. Had many, had many luminaries, but I don't. Me and Mike we were near the top of the poster.
I'm interrupting you for a second.
Yes?
So I just checked out Man in Black 666.
Yes.
Ronnie Connick.
Yes,
his pictures on Instagram.
Yes.
First one is a black cat. Shocker.
Wow. Okay.
But we do share that in common.
Yes, you do. Good job, Ronnie. Me and Mike near the top of the poster, so that was cool. So yeah, it's gonna go either way. They could be really bad, which it's tough. You gotta, advertising these things, and you don't know if people are gonna show up. That's the tough part.
Exactly.
You don't know when it's gonna show up. This one, I'm happy to say, exceeded all expectations. They were expecting 2,000 people at the one day con. They got closer to 4,000.
Wow.
And, I'm going to pat myself on the back and I'm going to say, some of it, may have been thanks to me and Zapsik. Little bit.
Yeah, maybe not though.
So, but more important than that, I love Canadians. I love Canada. I love Canadian Comic Cons. I don't know, something about the people and the fans, so nice and enthusiastic and, just awesome. Like, I want to do more Canadian cons. So
you're really putting yourself out there to be turned into a walrus.
Sure. But congratulations to Randy and Carol. It was cool. The next morning, before we went to the airport,
you got pancakes with a 13-year-old.
No, I did not. I only did that where did I do that? Oh, that was Myrtle Beach last year.
Ah, you admitted it.
I did not, and no, I didn't take her out. But that was where you alleged.
Take her out. There's a specific 13-year-old.
No, I did not take anybody out. Anyways. The promoters took us out to breakfast, and when we walked.
Wait, so you went out to breakfast
after the con? Yeah.
Were there any 13-year-olds?
No, there weren't. There was the promoters took us out to breakfast before they took us back to the airport.
Are you sure there were no 13-year-olds?
I'm sure there were 13-year-olds at the con, but none that I took out to breakfast, and nor have I ever taken a 13-year-old out to breakfast. But the promoters took us out to breakfast, and we walked into. It was a little diner next to the comic book store that one of the promoters owned, and we walked in, and the diner's full of breakfast people. And they broke into applause. The event was so good.
Not bad.
I've never been to anywhere really where that's happened, but for someone who threw a Comic-Con, that's pretty cool.
Are you sure there were no 13-year-olds?
No, I'm pretty sure, yes. So they applauded as they walked in. He's like, congratulations on throwing a great con. Congratulations on doing it in this town. Who dares to throw a con in anywhere but the bigger town, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto? But they did, and they did it. They did a great job. I'm very happy for them. And Mike and I had an amazing time. So thank you, Cornwall. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, 13-year-olds.
Thank you for everybody who came out to hang out with us at the con. A lot of Smodco fans came by. Our friend Jeremy Serres.
Yes, he posted a picture. He said,
big fan of you.
Look who I ran into.
Big fan of you, by the way.
I was like, man, I ran into him like a million times.
I just mentioned big fan of you. He's a big Samantha fan. Big fan of Samantha Riddler as well. Always been a supporter of the Smodco podcast. So
one of our favorites.
Yes, our friend J-Muse Bus Driver came out. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he used to run a live blog for us.
Is he an actual bus driver?
He is. I don't believe so.
Liars.
And a couple of guys we saw in Niagara Falls last year came out. It was cool. It was an awesome con, and I look forward to going back. So, but this was the first con. We went to Niagara Falls. We drove there. That was cool. This was the first hardcore one where like we had to go through customs and shit. And,
yeah.
You're always worried about being detained at the border.
Yeah.
Mike brought contraband that undetected. We there and back. Like we snuck.
What did he bring?
We snuck Cuban cigars back across the border. Which okay, come on, man, Cubans.
It was funny when my mother was diagnosed with cancer. Mm-hmm. I was just like, oh, now you can smoke some weed. And my mother's like, I will not become a drug dealer. Okay. I was like, okay, Mom.
All right. I think.
Cool.
Wow. All right. So she should.
Yeah, my mom's like way right conservative.
Right.
Hated it when I was like a teenager, and I would tell her like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm going to smoke a little bit."
Right.
She like hated it.
Right.
So like
just weed, Mom.
Yeah, but
weed.
But that was her reaction. I was like, "Oh, Mom," I was like, "Now you can get like some medicinal marijuana."
Yeah.
She looks at me like fire burning in her eyes. She's like exhausted from like just being ill, and she looks at me. She goes, "I will not become a drug dealer." Like, okay, Mom.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah. Two things I want to mention about Canada. We took this airline up called Porter Airline. They're
Porter.
They're a Canadian-based airline. Amazing. You know how they usually when you take a flight, you can pay extra to go to those shishi sky lounges and chill out.
Porter, no, I don't really fly that much.
Well, okay. Well, these things exist, but only for high rollers. I have not into these yet, but Porter. They open up their lounge to everybody flying their airline. 2, they serve free beer and wine on the flight. So I was drinking Steam Whistle, and they give you a glass of beer.
Yeah.
So yes, Steam Whistle from Toronto. We've drunken it on the show.
That water beer.
It's not water beer. It's
water.
The pride of Toronto, Steam Whistle beer.
It's water.
2, the hockey fandom up there is amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's their national sport. I understand that, but
I thought curling was their national sport.
No, man, there's no curling. I landed at the airport. I landed in Ottawa. Senators flags.
Lacrosse was their national.
Senators flags everywhere. It was great. And then that diner I ate at before, there were some
with the 13-year-olds.
There were no 13-year-olds. There were little old ladies cooking the food there, all in love with Carey Price. It was great. It was great. I just and their movie theaters show the play. You can go to the movie theater and watch the playoffs there on like a big screen.
Really?
Yes. It's awesome. It's a level of hockey fandom that just doesn't exist down here. And of course, they were making fun of me down there. Like, well, you're a Devils fan. You got nothing to root for.
Lacrosse is one of their national sports as well.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right. But, they were making, they give me a little shit about the Devils. But
well, it's because the Devils suck.
Yeah, but they didn't always suck. But even when, Devils make the playoffs, Stanley Cup, you didn't see that kind of rabid fandom here.
No, because Devils fans are, like, new.
Right, but I even say the same thing about any hockey fan in America.
Seriously, it's funny. Every time I see somebody walks into my store and they're like, "Oh, I'm a hockey fan." Mm-hmm. If they're above a certain age, I know for a fact they're not going to be a Devils fan.
Well, that's just how it is. Their parents grew up Rangers fans, so they're
exactly
Ranger fans. Even I don't see that kind of rabid fandom down here anywhere. Ranger fans or original Six fans.
I see it in New York when the Rangers pass a certain level in the playoffs. I saw it like final round last year.
Okay,
like
maybe.
And that's I
maybe,
mean, I guess,
but for them up there, it's every game, man.
Yeah, because they're proud of it. New Yorkers have too much other things to worry about to be proud of hockey every day.
Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, Jeremy, I forgot. I promised him a signed photo of you.
Yeah, I know. We have to get those done.
Yes. Oh, well, before we talk about hockey, speaking of which, dude contacted me. We were periscoping one day, and a photographer, an actual real awesome photographer contacted me and said, I'll come down and do them.
So let's do it.
And I believe his name is Damien, and emailed him today. He wants to do it. So
okay.
And I've always wanted like professionally shot photos of us to, so we, for
it's not going to be a porn.
Marketing purposes. No porn. Although start coming up. We come up with concepts though for this portrait. I've come up with a couple which I thought are clever. But
oh yeah, what are your concepts?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to ruin it. I want it to be a surprise.
Can you give me one?
I've mentioned it to you. I don't know if you remember.
Can you give me one?
I'll tell you after the show.
Can you give me like a hint that might
Yeah, movie theater. Don't you remember this one? I told you about it. Movie theater. All right, I'll tell you after. But
I'm not making out with you in a movie theater.
No, there's no making out. There's no
Awesome.
making out.
Awesome.
There's no making out. But I mean, it could be just a high quality photo of us here. You know,
Well, yeah.
But we'll come with a couple ideas. But yeah, we've had an offer, so I want to do
it.
that. So hockey.
Hockey.
It's playoffs. This is like the most important 2 months. Like the playoffs take a long time.
It's actually really it like really hurts this year.
Why?
Because Boston's not in it. Is this like how you feel every year?
It's not every year. It's like the last 4 to 5 years. It's recent.
Is this like how you feel?
It's
all the
recent.
time?
It's recent.
Is this like sinking kind of awful feeling?
No, it just come on, man. I was an Orioles fan. I've been an Orioles fan for the last 10 years. I know what it's like.
I mean, like, man, this
it's
sucks.
Not, it's not. You're not.
You know what the burn is?
What's that?
Vancouver's the burn.
It is. Vancouver's in.
Yeah,
yes.
Like Vancouver's the burn. And it's funny too because my ex Tony, he huge hockey fan.
Sure.
Knows more statistics about hockey than anyone.
Okay.
Wants to come on the show and talk about hockey.
Okay, he's welcome to.
Yeah,
he's got the next 2 months.
He's actually like playing right now.
I'm just saying he's got the next 2 months to do it if the chair is open, my friend.
So he messaged me and he goes, "So you gonna become a Vancouver fan now that Boston's not in the playoffs?"
You've done that, by the way.
Fuck you.
You've done that.
I have not done that.
Sure, you have.
I have not done that. I supported Vancouver during the playoffs.
Why aren't you supporting them anymore?
Because I'm a Boston fan.
Okay, whatever. You're making fun of me. At least I stick with the same team.
You're a shitty team.
All right. Well, I'm
stuck with my team. I stopped playing fantasy hockey because I love my hockey team so much.
Fair enough. I'm just saying. You have no roots in Boston or Vancouver, by the way. I'm just saying that too.
What, you think I'm going to root for the fucking Devils?
Well, you
Shit,
can't.
if I was rooting for a home team, it would be the Rangers.
Yeah, which pains me.
It would be the Rangers.
That's awful. That's disgusting. But anyways. But, if I can't, Devils aren't, you're still going to watch. It's still plenty exciting. I love seeing that Stanley Club Playoffs logo on the ice.
Because it's the cup. It's like my favorite hashtag. When the first person I know on my Twitter feed whips it out, I'm just like, yes!
Yeah, and
Stanley Cup season.
They have the playoffs commercials, and let's be honest, that level of play is definitely elevated.
Yeah, level of play is elevated. That was the one thing when I was a Vancouver fan I always liked about Vancouver. They were like a normal team throughout the season, but then the playoffs started and they became like the meanest, most fucking underhanded tactics team. They were fucking dirty about everything.
You do whatever it takes to win.
Hell yeah.
It's the playoffs. So what? We got 8.
Side note,
we get
Mr. Dance Floor just started following me on Instagram.
Dance Floor.
Mr. Dance Floor.
You better live up to that name. I want to see some dance videos on that.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we got 8 matchups going on.
We do.
And,
I haven't really watched any of them.
Where do you want to start, though?
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay. Well, I have a list here. This is in no particular order.
I've only watched 2 Ranger games.
Okay.
I honestly haven't caught much because I've been working nights.
All right.
I've been back and forth from Saraville.
Hey,
so
fair enough.
So I can't really speak about most of the games. Right. I can speak about Pittsburgh sucking though.
Okay, well, I mean, Rangers won the President's Trophy, so which is
that's a fucking curse and a half.
Absolutely is a curse.
And it was funny too because he touched the trophy.
Who touched it?
They touched the trophy.
They touched the trophy. Yeah. Which is also a curse.
Yeah, you never fucking touch the trophy. That was my big thing. You never touch the trophy. You want the cup, not the trophy.
They touched the trophy.
They touched the fucking trophy.
Tell me you didn't touch the trophy. I touched the trophy.
You touched the trophy.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I touched the butt.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. So, I mean,
so there's that.
So yes, Rangers did, out of an 82 game season, they won 52, 53 games. So, they're a good team.
It's funny too because everyone's back in 94 when we won the President's Trophy. I'm the one thing that I actually want
still living in 94.
That's the thing. I want the Rangers to fucking win this year so we could stop hearing 1994. Well, Jesus fucking Christ, do you see me bringing up the last time the Boston Bruins won?
Well,
no, let it fucking go.
It wasn't that long ago, first of all.
It wasn't. But I'm just saying, let it go. 94 is in the past. You don't have to, they're comparing game by game. Right. I'm let it go.
They won't let it go. They can't let it go.
Because they're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I like it when.
And I'm sick of hearing you used to be a Vancouver fan. You know who we beat in 1994?
Yeah. I like it when they bring up 94. I'm dude, that was so long. I've lived and died. People have lived and died generations have passed since the last time.
It's just ridiculous. Like, I'm sick of hearing it. And like, you know what? Like, awesome on you guys. Like, you're doing great things.
Wow,
like, it's your first.
Shut the hell up.
Like, I don't want to hear 1994. Live in the present.
Yes.
Stop fucking around in the past. Like, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Do I compare everything to the 1990s?
Well,
no, I respect my shitty team I have now.
Right. So, but the Penguins are not playing at full strength. So
no, they're not.
No. And still, they've managed.
I also think the Penguins are kind of like choke artists in the playoffs.
Sure.
Like I have no respect for them in the playoffs. I don't think they could finish.
I don't have respect for them anyways. But,
but I mean, like I don't think they could do anything in the playoffs. Like it's not there for them.
Yeah. Well, if they've taken a game, so that's
one game.
And I would love to see an upset, but I don't.
A lot of people are thinking Rangers in 5. I think Rangers in 6.
I could see that. I would love to see the Penguins upset them though. That's the only time I'm gonna root for the Penguins is right now. I would love to see it.
I think it's gonna be Rangers in 6.
Out in the first round, like that. I see tears being shed.
Yeah,
I see. I already have people rubbing it in already, like Ranger fans rubbing it in already. Mike Polano.
Whoa.
Like Plano, Pittsburgh Revolution. He's started rubbing it in already.
Well, because like, you're a Devils fan.
I know that, but they haven't even played a game yet of the playoffs. He's rubbing it in. I'm like, dude, keep digging that hole, man.
He has nothing to worry about yet. He has nothing to worry about yet.
I guess not. But all right. Rangers are up 2 games to 1.
I think Rangers. Okay. Rangers in 6.
All right. Next on my list, St. Louis Blues versus the Wild. Wild up 2
These were 2 teams. I remember a few years ago when like St. Louis and Minnesota were first starting to become good teams, and St. Louis first made it to the playoffs. And I recall my exact statement that I don't want to live in a world where the St. Louis Blues have a potential to win. Why? Because they've always, from when I started watching hockey, they were always like the shitty team.
They're relevant again.
They're relevant again.
It's so weird. They had Gretzky. So
it's so weird to see the St. Louis Blues, a team that in my mind is ultimately irrelevant, playing against the Minnesota Wild, a team which, again, in my head, is ultimately irrelevant.
I mean, I suppose, but
I'm thinking Minnesota.
I'm gonna agree with you there.
I really don't know how many games though. I think potential for 7.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I think potential for 7.
I agree with you. You say Minnesota on top, though. I'm just saying that as I have freaking Parisi.
I'm always a little more impressed with Minnesota. I think that they've kind of been pushing a little more than St. Louis.
Yes. I just say they're closer to Canada, so they have that. They get a little Canadian luck.
Yeah.
Yes. Nashville, Chicago. Already, you're like...
Chicago.
All right. Already, you're just like...
I'm probably going to say Chicago in 5.
Well, it's gotta be. They gotta win the next 2, but yes. All right.
Yeah, I would say Chicago in 5.
All right. Now finally we're getting. I love that
we have a whole list.
I know. Well, no. What I'm saying is, we get to some Canadian teams, which I'm pleased to see so many Canadian teams in the playoffs. We got 5, I believe. Winnipeg, Montreal, Ottawa.
Let's look at another thing. Like the fact, in my head, the one thing that's wrong with this world right now is that Boston's not in the playoffs, and that St. Louis, Minnesota, and Winnipeg
and the Jets are in?
Like,
the Jets?
Fuck you! Like, Jets, Winnipeg? How the hell did this shit happen?
They slipped by, man.
Slipped by.
It's all,
God.
It's all in the points, man.
I know. God. It's just, like, if you're a fan of a team that's, like, not in the playoffs, and Winnipeg is, we should all be, like, killing ourselves right now.
I suppose.
It's, like, terrible. Well, like, don't you feel that way as a Devils fan? I mean, I understand you guys are like bottom of the trough right now.
Not
like
bottom.
Like you're
not in the bottom.
You're like the gum on my shoe.
Not the gum. They're not in the pack. But they're not in the bottom.
You are like the gum. Actually, you're not even the gum on my shoe. You're the dirt stuck in the gum on my shoe. Yeah. So like that is like you guys. But like as a Boston fan, like this is terrible.
I suppose, but it's going to be a quick dozen. Anaheim's up 3 games.
It's rough.
The Ducks are up 3-zip.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to sweep this.
Yeah, no, I'm picking Anaheim in 4.
All right. And this is one that I got firsthand look at. Not just I watched the games and it was great. I saw old men at the bar watching this at Montreal, Ottawa, and I was in a city in between both of them. Yeah. So, and
was there any bar fights?
No fights. Yeah, the fandom in Cornwall, at least, and even Ottawa leans more toward Montreal, just because Montreal's got like the 100-year history.
Yeah.
Ottawa's got 20+ years, so they're still the newer team. It's like I guess around here it'd be like Rangers, Devils, really. Yeah. So, and people love the Canadians up there.
I'm going to.
But Montreal's up 3-0, so I see a sense taking one game.
Yeah, I could see Ottawa taking one.
Yeah.
I don't think Montreal has the ability to clean sweep it.
Really?
I fucking
honestly,
hate
if
Montreal.
I'm looking at this list here, I like to see Montreal win it this year. I'm going to say it right now.
What?
Yeah. Why? Who's your pick? Who would you like to see take it all?
Who would I personally like to see take it all?
Well, obviously, got to be out of this list. I guess you might be leaning toward Vancouver, but I don't know,
I didn't actually even know I was until I just looked at that list. I was gonna say the Rangers. I'm honestly.
Oh God.
Disgusting. Okay. Here's my thing.
That would just ruin my year right there.
I'm leaning toward if I had to pick 3 teams.
Sure.
Rangers.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Islanders.
Okay. Sure.
And Vancouver.
All right. Well, next time, Tampa Bay, Detroit tied 1-1. I think a little softer spot for the Red Wings. I grew up in Michigan.
I have a softer spot for Tampa Bay.
Right. Okay.
I just like them a little bit more.
All right.
I think the Red Wings can pull it out, though.
Well, yes. Caps, Islanders.
I'd honestly like to see the Islanders do something. I feel like it's a shame what's going on with them.
Right.
In that they couldn't stay at their arena. They're getting moved, and finally they're a fucking relevant team. And now all of Staten Island's upset that they're not going to have them anymore. Like, well, when they were shitty, you didn't care.
Right.
But now that they're relevant.
What's up with that?
Yeah, now that they're relevant, you want to be raking in the money that they could possibly bring you with people coming to see them. I feel like it's kind of like really sad what's happening to them, but I kind of almost, if I had to see a team on this list win,
that's America.
Well, that's the thing.
Anyways,
like, I'd like to see the fucking Islanders say "fuck you" to all their fans who didn't believe in them enough to keep them on that island.
Okay, I would be down with that.
Like, I'd like to see that.
This is fandom in America, man.
Because
what have you done for me lately?
I think it's a tragedy that they're leaving.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, I think that arena, that whole thing, and the whole idea that like people were only going to have to pay a certain amount of money in taxes to keep them there and to renovate this, like they couldn't buck up for their team then, but now they're upset that they're leaving.
Right. I mean, granted, I've never been there. I've only seen it on TV, and I've only heard firsthand from fans, but that stadium sucked.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I've seen them play there. I watched them play Vancouver Islanders there, and we had to drive home in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
So that was terrible. I've seen Star Wars in concert there. Right. Like, it's a shitty...
Yeah, it sucks.
It's a shitty arena.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that the people... A lot
of history there,
exactly. There's a lot of history, and the people didn't care about their team until their team started winning.
Right.
And now they don't want them to go. Well, you know what? They're going to go to New York.
Right.
They're going to go to Brooklyn, and they're going to fucking kill it in Brooklyn. And all you Long Islanders, you'll become irrelevant again.
Yes,
so
sorry.
Yeah. So now we're going to have another Subway series.
Yeah, unless they win the cup.
Well, they're still going to move them.
Right. It's just there's a possibility.
There is.
Probably not going to happen, but and last but not least, Vancouver, Calgary.
I honestly feel like Calgary's going to win, but I'd like to see Vancouver win.
I mean, how much left? How much do the Sedin brothers have left in them?
Not much. I mean, it would like be like lemon to an open wound in that Vancouver can win the Stanley Cup when I'm not a fan of them after I had a 5-year bet for $500 against it.
Right, okay, which you still owe, by the way.
Which I still owe, thanks.
Not reminding you or anything. But beyond that, I would.
Thanks, Maddie D'Amico's gonna like that you remind me.
Right, but I would like to see a Canadian team win. Just fresh off my trip to Canada, I'd like to see a Canadian team take it all. So, I mean, Montreal would be. I'll throw my weight behind Montreal this year.
If I had to go Canadian, I would go Vancouver. Otherwise,
of course,
it's the Rangers. It's I have a soft spot for St. Louis. I do. I still do. After all these years, I liked him from the beginning.
Okay. I couldn't stomach that, man. It would ruin my ear.
Well, you know, I'm going to be...
although my ear's been pretty good.
I'm going to be working with Pizza Beer Revolution on a super secret project, so...
I heard. When does the super secret project start? When?
Soon.
Okay.
Soon.
All right.
So I have to get along with Mike Polano.
All right. Okay. You don't have to agree with everything.
Oh, no. I mean, I pretty much disagree with most things that he says. But, hey, shit, if he wants to see the Rangers win, my team's out. Why not his?
That's disgusting. All right, so go Habs, go Habs, go.
Fuck you with your Habs.
Make it official.
I hate the Habs. Like, seriously? I'm rooting for the Rangers. Screw Vancouver. It's all in on the Rangers for me.
I like Subban, man. I think he's a fiery player. He's a good player. I like him. I just said it.
Yeah.
PK Subban.
That's fine.
It's broken my heart a few times. He's scored a lot of game-winning goals.
Yeah, that's fine. Go Rangers.
The Devils, but...
I actually have a Rangers jersey. I'll wear it next time.
Oh, God, you.
Ironically enough, that was the Rangers jersey I wore the first time when I was a Vancouver fan. I went to see a Rangers Boston pregame. And I went with Tony and his brother Matt, and Matt lent me his Rangers jersey.
Right, you kept it,
and I still have it. I just
never gave it back.
It's in my closet.
All right,
and so I still have the first time I saw my favorite team play. I was wearing a Rangers jersey. I know it's terrible.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I know.
I don't even. I can't. I
guess that's it.
I can't. But. All right. Well, you know what? I'll take any girl in any hockey jersey rather than no girl in no hockey jersey. So
what about a girl in no hockey jersey?
I'll take that too, but of course I'll take that. But hey, if it at least I don't know, at least it's the NHL, the fourth most popular sport in the U.S. and dropping, unfortunately.
I know.
But anyways, so. Beyond that, so I'm going to another con this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to C2E2, which is located in Chicago. C2E2 stands for the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. Rob Bruce has informed me that it's the third biggest show in the country right now, which...
There you go.
Lot of luminaries there. Stan Lee. The one I'm most excited to see again, by the way, is Ming from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So you could stalk her in the bathroom again.
I don't. You know what? I don't have to stalk her this time.
You have her cell phone number?
I don't have her cell phone number,
so
but
you have to stalk her.
I don't have to stalk her. Well, I know what table she's going to be and when. But I sent her a little tweet. I was like, "Hey, come to C2E2, come see me, come meet Jason Mewes, Ming Na, and my favorite cosplayer Ivy Doom Kitty." And Ming Na tweeted me back, and she said, "See you there, dude." So that was pretty cool, right?
Wow.
It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Fanboy.
It's pretty, of course. How have you seen her on that show? She's amazing.
Yeah, she's hot.
Not just, she's an ass kicker, and she's like awesome. She's probably my favorite character on there. So that'd be cool. So that's, hey, come on, man. I'm just, come on. Let me have this. Let me have this. So it'll be fun there. Now I'm not ashamed to say I begged my way on.
Well, you usually do.
It's a big con, so usually they have like real guests.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say that, but Kevin and Jason are going there to do a live show, and Jason's going to be signing, I believe Saturday and Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, hey man, like, any chance, you might have a extra table I can come and hang out, and I'll add some firepower to your con, and they said yes, so I'll be there all 3 days.
Well, have fun, catch a game.
A game? Oh, like a hockey game or a baseball game or any game?
Any game.
Okay.
Go to the bar, catch a game.
I will. It'll be fun.
Have breakfast with a 13-year-old.
I'm not having breakfast. No, I'm not having breakfast with a 13-year-old. Maybe I'll be having breakfast with an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That would be cool, right?
Jesus Christ.
That'd be, someone from the Marvel universe.
Pray for Debbie.
Come on. It's a mutual admiration, hopefully.
Pray for Debbie.
Or maybe it's just one way.
I'm hanging up my headphones.
Hey, at least we're both Asians. How about that? Give me that, right?
I love you in that show.
Yeah, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. So that'll be cool. If you're in the Chicago area, come see me C2E2 this weekend.
Awesome. I'll be working.
Okay.
So if you're in the Shrewsbury area,
yes, come
buy some pants.
Come see Samantha Q.
Yeah.
And yes. Oh, I wanted to shout out another pod I've been listening to lately.
Yeah.
Did you watch Entourage at all?
No.
Back in the day?
Nope.
When?
Because everyone else did.
Oh, really? It's I think you would enjoy it.
I probably would.
I think you would enjoy it. Guy who plays Turtle on the show, his name is Jerry Ferrara. I like this character. He opened up a awesome sandwich restaurant. There are two of them actually in the LA area called Fat Sal's. Good sandwiches. He has jumped into the podcast world. He's got a podcast called Bad for Business. And, I binged listened to it today.
Nice.
And, as a fan of him, as a fan of Entourage, it's a pretty awesome pod. So, I wanted to throw out a shout out to him. Bad for Business. The Entourage movie is coming out on, they just moved the date up, June 3rd. And, I don't, judging by the trailer looks awesome. Looks like you could jump into it without having watched the show. I mean, you don't.
I probably wouldn't watch it.
The movie or the show?
Yeah, either.
Well, personally, like knowing you, I think you would like it, but.
Fair enough. Generally, I'm more of a science fiction girl.
It's still one of my favorite. Well, I mean, but you like Hollywood and you like, you like Marky Mark. You got some good vibrations going on. I'm just saying. Piven, do you like Jeremy Piven?
No, I hate him actually.
Oh, actually, if you hate him, you will like him on the show because
everyone hates him.
Yeah, I would say he's kind of an anti-hero in the show. Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out for his pod, Bad for Business.
There you go. Shout out for his pod
with Jerry Ferrara. His girlfriend's the producer of the show, which I think is cool. So he gets people.
It's gonna be bad for business if they break up.
That's actually the wide-ranging theme of the podcast.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So it's pretty.
I'm done.
It's pretty cool. My goal of the year is to be a guest on his pod.
Okay, so he's throwing that out there.
I'm throwing that out there.
Okay.
Or the other goal is to have him on our pod.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll make that happen.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
We're fellow podcasters now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I have to watch like the show and pretend to love it.
You don't have to. You won't. There will be no pretending, my friend.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I'll
big shout out for Jerry
Jesus
Ferrara.
Christ.
Bad for Business. Listen to that podcast. I don't recommend a lot of non-Smodco podcasts. I'm all about our team, but that's one that I really enjoyed today.
Fair enough.
It was cool. It was cool. All right. Well, that's
it.
That's all I got. Unless before you go, the Apple Watch. I don't know if you had any interest. You have an Apple iPhone.
Yeah. No, I don't have enough money for an Apple Watch.
Did you? If you did, would you get one?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm saving my money.
I pre-ordered the watch. I pre-ordered.
Jesus Christ.
Well, because I love. Come on, man! I got 80 Apple products right here. You know I love Apple. So I pre-ordered the watch. I pre-ordered the charging cable, an extra charging cable. I'm not getting the watch till June. My charging cable will be here tomorrow. So I'm gonna stare at the cable, wishing my freaking watch was here. It sucks, right?
You're an asshole.
Why am I an asshole?
That's amazing.
My charging cable is going to come like 2 months before the watch. Yes, my charging cable is going to come 2 months before the watch.
Don't lose it.
Yeah, right. I'm where the fuck did I put that charging cable 2 months ago?
Exactly. You have to buy another one.
Yeah,
it's the way Apple makes money.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, yes. God.
So, anyway.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Yes. So, I'm glad we're leaving. I'm glad you're laughing as we go. But parents, hang in there. We're all behind you, and keep us updated. And we're all thinking about your mother. So, because we all love you. So, I love you. I love you. I love your family. I'm here for you.
Well, I'm here for everybody.
Yeah.
To be here for.
Yes. But so thank you for listening. But we are back.
We're back.
We are back. And yes, I will be back. Well, when do I get in next week? I fly back Monday afternoon. So we'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Pending any further fucking tragedies in my life.
You've had enough tragedy. I
need to win the lottery. Buy a fucking ticket.
Buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket. All right. Thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio.